like to talk a lot. I like to tell a lot of stories. A lot. I like to believe that when I tell these stories, people are listening. Most of the time, they're not. But for today, I get 15 minutes of your full attention to tell stories. This is a dream come true. When I was around 9 or 10 years old, I decided I wanted to quit hockey. I played for a boys' single A team that couldn't win a game, and I just wasn't having any fun. Being as dramatic as I was, my parents asked if I wanted to try something like theater. So I turned into a performer. Musicals, acting lessons, singing lessons, auditions. I even took some dance classes for a little. That was my passion, my life, who I was, and what I wanted to be as I got older. After a couple years of watching my sister play nonstop, I started to miss the sport, and my family was thrilled that I was interested in playing again, being the hardcore hockey fans that we are. While doing both hockey and theater, I started my first year here at Appleby. Through busy schedules and a change of interests, I fell out of love with being on stage and back in love with being on the ice. Flash forward to last year. I was lucky enough to play for Appleby's hockey team for the first time. With expectations and comparisons to my sister, while also knowing I was not nearly as skillful as the rest of the girls on the team, saying I was nervous for that first morning practice is a giant understatement. From that day on, the battle between myself and my mind every time I stepped on the ice was scary and something that I never wanted to share completely with those around me. Having already struggled with anxiety my entire life, I tried to teach myself how to self-soothe. Inhale confidence, exhale doubt. However, something I'm sure everyone in this room can relate to, no matter the context, is that it is hard to shake the feeling of embarrassment in a situation where you feel out of place. No matter how many people told me otherwise, and no matter how much support was given to me, playing for that team instantly made me regret ever quitting hockey when I was younger. Thinking about the years I missed for development and the type of player I could have been, I was frustrated and angry at myself and my parents for letting me stop. This resulted in many tears and constant, everyday, gut-wrenching regret. So where am I going with this story? I've heard that before. My life motto, and something my mom always tried to tell me, is that everything happens for a reason. Roughly my entire life until about 6 months ago, I didn't believe this was true. Sorry. In that short amount of time, I've come to learn that it is important to appreciate and love who I am today and how I got here. Instead of thinking about the could have been or would have been, think about where you are right now. This is the should have been. Every little thing that has happened to you throughout your life's journey up until now was supposed to happen, and it has brought you to this point. No matter how awful it may seem in the moment, there is a purpose. One of my favorite quotes to represent dealing with hardship is, "You either get bitter or you get better." It's that simple. You either take what has been dealt to you and allow it to make you a better person, or you allow it to tear you down. The choice does not belong to fate, it belongs to you. It's important to love every little thing that has happened to yourself over these years that have shaped you into what makes you, you. And on that note, this brings me to story number 2. It is very crucial to understand the importance of being yourself, and this is something that I struggled with for a long time. Coming to Appleby in 9th grade, I only knew one person, Abby, from my public school in Mississauga. At this point in my life, I was struggling deeply with my mental health and uncontrollable anxiety. There were many thoughts forming in my mind that would have sounded insane to any other person. These setbacks made it difficult for me to create new friendships, and I found myself thinking about what may cause others not to like me. I was annoying, too loud, weird, didn't fit the hopeful girl image, and the list goes on. I tried to change myself in hopes of being accepted. I tried to be exactly like the other girls and get rid of anything in me that was different. The biggest one being my first sentence in the speech, trying to be quieter and stop talking so much. But that was kind of difficult for me, as many of you probably know. This only separated me from everyone further, putting myself in a worse and worse mental state, losing confidence in everything I did. I second-guessed myself in anything I said, thought, any opinions I had, literally anything. I lost confidence in the sports I played, and this is something I find I'll still sometimes struggle with today, like I said about playing on the hockey team. I felt embarrassed in everything I did and was so afraid of others making fun of me for the things I enjoyed doing. It came to a point where I felt as though it was wrong to call myself an athlete, like I didn't deserve that title. It's quite ironic to think that the athletics prefect felt as though she wasn't allowed to call herself an athlete. Something like this is hard to overcome, and how to fix it is different for every person. It took me changing my outlook on life and the experiences I lived to learn how to be happy in my own skin. And this all comes back to the idea of everything happens for a reason and how you've been shaped into you. Maybe I have that loud theatrical side to me, but I'm thankful for that because it brought me to try theater. And like I said, it was a path I was supposed to take. Had I not done it, I probably wouldn't be as comfortable public speaking. And it's the little things like that which I remember and am thankful for. These are just my examples to show you that you were supposed to turn out exactly how you are. And you won't be able to grow as a person until you understand that. Through growth and being myself, I found people who loved me for me. Not only that, but I surrounded myself with people who made me love the person I was when I was around them. Without the help of all my closest friends, it would have taken me much longer to have seen the light at the end of the tunnel. Even today, when I find myself going back to my old mindset, my roommate and best friend Shalina is always there to catch me and remind me of what I stand for. We are all better together. The great Dr. Seuss once said, "Life's too short to wake up with regrets. So love the people who treat you right, forgive the ones who don't, and believe that everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. Nobody said it'd be easy. They just promised it would be worth it." That sums up everything I've been trying to say. Think about that line. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. The path you are on is headed somewhere, and things are going to pop up along the way. Let the pieces fall into place. It's important to remember that your story is your story, and you should be proud of the person you are and how you got there. Now, maybe it will take some time, but like Sue says, nobody said it'd be easy. They just promised it would be worth it. Maybe I had a rough start here, but coming to Appleby was the greatest decision I have ever made. Seriously, I love this school. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for making this possible. To all the athletes out there, remember that getting cut from that team isn't going to be the end of the world. Artists, not everything you create or do is going to be perfect, and that's okay. What happens next is determined by how you handle the setbacks you've had. And to those of you who find maybe you don't fit into a specific category, that's perfectly fine. Keep trying new things until you find your shtick. Now, I'm not saying I have everything figured out because I'm still 16 and there is so much more that I haven't learned yet. But from the small change I made, everything seemed to benefit, and my life has felt like it has gone on a major uphill since. So if any of this sounded a little like you, I urge you to try and change your outlook. You might start telling your stories too. Now will you all please rise and sing hymn number 662.